Oh, buddy. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You heard the sound. I'm just gonna, just random fucking video I'm gonna make. Who gives a fuck? It's time to fucking, I just want to play something a little bit. Just kind of jump back into something old school. This is a save file that I had before. We might jump back into that in a second. But I just kind of want to go through like a bit of the intro of this one. It's like my first impression as a kid picking this game up. You gotta keep my silver Game Boy Advance. You pick this shit up, you put this fucking bitch inside, and this fucking scary ass little track in the background is going. Listen to that shit. Like that shit bellows, dude. What a phenomenal opening of the game. I already have an Eric, so I guess I'll just put E-Rock. And that's the bellow of my fucking heater, because the house is fucking freezing. Hold on, just wait, close it for 1 second. How many times have I walked into the fucking... How many times have I walked out of the video? Like, it's becoming a theme now. Like, feels like I do it all the time now. I just walk out of the fucking video. For some stupid-ass reason. Alright, let's do this till I fucking freeze to death, because it's fucking cold as shit out there. We're just gonna do the opening. I'm just gonna give you my first impressions when I first played this game. Let's see what's going on. Oh, shit. Ooh, 1830. White people still rule the world in an old Austrian castle. Austrian. The return of the Lord of Darkness. I love the way the scribe like disappears like that. And it looks better actually on the video that I'm showing you. That image actually looks way more like shit. Camilla, we crave the presence of the embodiment of suffering. I do like her design a little bit. I like the little like weird flaps she has in her ears. Camilla. Or Camilla? I don't know. Ruler of Darkness. This room is kind of super mid though for like Dracula. You just kind of want more out of it. I like the design a little bit, but it's kind of super subtle. This Dracula design's not too bad. He's a little more like older. He's like, he's being daddy. He's Daddy Dracula. I've waited for this moment. Awake again. To bask in darkness and feel the moonlight within. I am honored to be in our presence. Oh, in your presence. It's actually a little hard to read behind the background. Indeed, though I lack my full power. It's like they couldn't decide. It's like the scrolling is just literally plastered on the screen. There isn't like a little like a black like square background to like frame the writing, so they're like the R right there, I can barely see it. And that fucking chandelier, that R is like missing. We are preparing to write to replenish your power. Stop! Old S2 was booking it. You cannot be allowed to taint the world. The power of Christ compels you. You were the one. Killers that sealed me. You've aged. I always remember that line. I don't know why, the 3 dots in the you've aged. Like, I just need to like take this screen and just snapshot it. And like, just take the screen, snapshot it, and just like that sums some shit up for sure, man. You've aged. It is our duty to see you banished. To use my nemesis, life, to return my power. I have no use for children. Be gone! One little bat breaks that entire, like 2 fucking bricks in the ground. That bat just like kamikazed into the floor and exploded it. And These kids are fucking dead. No, I'm just kidding. They're falling. Hugh, Nathan. He just leaves the old man there. They would fucking have some weird ass fucking three-way where we're gone. Master, I love Nathan Graves' design. You're the protagonist. I don't know. I like that he's a little bit different than the. His hair is a lot more white now that I've seen it. It looks really white, like even on the screen. I didn't notice it. It always kind of looks really brown, but for whatever reason, it has this really it's super white in that color. Father with the black hair. I guess it is more white. I always kind of in my brain, my mind prism. Even if you look at the cover. His hair is kind of dark brown, which I like. Are you okay? You were just brushed aside and ignored. We have to find Master. I'll go. He's my father. So it's like that, the weird dynamic. Nathan, you'll be in the way. Just get out of here. So it's a little bit almost like it kind of forms a spoiler alert. I don't know, maybe we'll do a little playthrough of this game sometime one day. Not anytime soon, for the love of God. I mean, I guess beat games that I actually haven't beaten, and not ones I already have. But like, they end up kind of. It's almost like a bit like Pokemon. Like your rival is always like, "I'll do it. You just go home, baby," or whatever, and he just keeps walking away. Like, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna help out. Professor Oak. Like, I'll do it. You're just wasting time. And so, like, you're just, like, just pursuing on your own. As, like, you're not the master. You're not the son. You're the, like, the little, like, second guy. But the spoiler alert is that you have the vampire killer. So there's a little bit of, like, a sibling jealousy there where Hugh is, like, clearly a little, like, why didn't I get the vampire killer? He's got, like, a sword. You end up fighting him later on. Like I said, it kind of culminates in the two of you actually having a bit of a showdown. Pretty cool fight, as I remember. He has like all these swords that like start flying around, like I don't know, it's super cool. And like when you against him with those abilities, like it kind of ends up becoming a pretty badass match. Just first impressions, like when I think about it again. Number one, I do like it doesn't visually look great like the later games. Like you could definitely tell there's a downgrade in graphical like style. But I do love what they do with the detail a lot, especially like looking at it on the big screen. Like, yeah, that background is not like super, it doesn't look like it's really there. But I think they almost like, because they couldn't make it look like it's there, they just added like these really, it's almost like you're a cartoon in the background. Like there's just like a cool like visual feel to it when I see it. Like that little skeleton guy being there, like it doesn't really look like it's there, but there's still something to really like about it. It still looks really pretty. Like the brick design actually looks kind of pretty, even though it's still kind of the same brick design over and over again. All right, maybe it's not that pretty. It's fine. It's fucking bricks. What do you want from me? But one thing that you can notice immediately. Number one, well, I guess we saw graphic design. That's number one. Number two is feel and like just movement. You're very slow. You do this fucking baller strut, dude. Look at that $1 million strut that he just fucking does right there. And he is just strutting it up when he walks around. But the problem with that is that he's very slow. And when you really look at the animation that's done, you compare it to like Harmony of Dissonance or Aria of Sorrow. Like the animation, there's at least 3 or 4 more frames of animation, like at least 2 more frames of animation in the later games. Where this one just really does have like this very like, I don't know. It almost looks like you're playing like one of the old school Prince of Persia games. I'm talking old, like original Prince of Persia. A little bit. Like it's a little like a scrolling kind of effect. But you're very heavy. Like falling down this area, like this is the beginning part where you're kind of getting introduced to the game. I do like that they kind of feed you some early like whatever, even though this area can be a little weird to run through. But dude, you fall like a fucking piano, dude. Like look how it's hard to explain how heavy. That feels heavy as shit. I feel like a fucking brick just being tossed through a glass window. Like, ugh. Like, I had no leeway to get that fucking torch up there. Like, I'm trying to get this torch right now, and it's hard. Like, you fucking drop, dude. It kind of feels like what you would imagine real life, like gravity just pulling on you from, like, the top of a building. Like, yoink. It just takes you. And your attack is very slow, but it does have quite a bit of range. And it does have this, and you actually use this a lot more than you think. Like this sort of like a little spinning effect. Like it's present in a lot of the games, but it's surprising how often I wouldn't use it that much. But with this one, like it actually, this shit really does help because you're so slow that if you hold that by holding it down. So if you switch to attack, it'll kind of go into that thing. You really want to combo into that a lot because you will more likely. I mean, this little look at that fucking limp fucking noodle that I'm throwing out there. Like that shit. The hit detection is brutal. Like you have to be right on the dot. Ugh, and that fucking. Ugh, and they not only does that thing hit you, but it also has like a spreading effect on the with the bombs. So like there's like a second of delay where you can't actually walk past it because it like. I love how the music kind of gets more like. I love this song a lot, but it does have like a very like 80s movie, like 80s fantasy movie vibe, like Lady Hawk kind of like. But you see, it's got that like flame that holds on for a while. It's interesting that the first skeleton enemy you fight in this Castlvania game is a skeleton guy with bombs. You know, typically the skeleton guy is throwing bones, or he's got like maybe a stick, you know, but right off the bat, you got a dude dropping grenades on you. A skeleton shooting grenades. So immediately you come to this area, you can't get up here. I mean, you feel like I said, dude, just, ugh, like it's not happening. It's very clear you can't go that way. I love how the bats are there, and not only the bats are there, but they respawn. See, that one's back. And so yeah, like trying to hit that thing on the pin, like see, like I don't even think I got it right there. I think maybe I got it with my hand. And so it drops something right there. It's a card. With this one, you get different cards, and you get different. Your cards are basically your spells. So you get items. You can equip to the body and 2 arms, and that's it. You don't have a head. You don't have a weapon either, because your weapon is always going to be your whip. But there are different variations of the whip, whereas you can use them with these cards. That, oh my god. Where you have 1 action and then 1 attribute. So the attribute will be anything from like fire to poison to ice to electricity to rock, other things, whatever other stuff. It's a bunch of random shit. And then action is more like the mercury will well, I'm actually going to show you in a minute, but let's just go through real quick. I'll show you in a second. Off the bat though, just going to say this off the bat, big problem with this game, and I didn't even realize it until I opened it back up, because with any of the Castlvania games, like, I'll be honest, like, a lot of them I wasn't big completionist about. Like with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, when I played that on the Switch, I loved that game so much, I was willing to literally collect every fucking thing in that game, or almost everything in that game. I'm sure there was like 1 or 2 random ass things I didn't do. I did everything. I played that game backwards to front. And I don't ever do that with anything. So it started to kind of inspire me to be like, I want to get everything. And I kind of wish I had done that more with more of the Castlevania games. Like I ran through 4 of them, and I didn't do any of that, unfortunately. I got a lot of shit. I completed all the quests, but I didn't get all the items, I don't think. And I kind of regret not doing that. But a lot of the games, here's the big problem, is every game usually has like what I would call a bestiary, not bestiality, like a bestiary. It's like a monster guide, essentially, an area for you to look up all the different monsters you're fighting, because there's literally like hundreds in this game. Golems and skeletons and medusas and demons and lions and tigers and bears, like every fucking thing. And they all have multiple types of drops. So they'll have like one that's like a lower percentage. It might be a potion, right? An antidote. But then it'll have like a more rare drop, which is like a weapon or an item that you can equip, or a card. And there's no item list in the game. There's no monster guide. And like all the other ones have that. And that's a big problem, because you basically don't have any real way to collect shit. And those cards are important, man. Like there's some cards in this game that are immensely important. And the idea that you have no frame of reference within the actual game to like look it up and figure things out, like typically would be something like this. I looked this up online, but this is probably something you would see. You would see the monster,
and this is in the games. Like it's in it's in like Aria Apsara. I'm almost sure it's definitely in all of the DS games. They did this where you have the picture, the name, maybe what it's weak against or whatever. They might give you some like attack information. But then they'll have their drops. Like the bat drops a wristband. That's like 0.25, and it has a rare drop of a heart. Like, but that's just like to replenish your weapons. Um, but like, yeah, like you wouldn't even know. Like, there's just no way of having that in the game, and that's a big problem, man. Because this whole game is just about you collecting shit. I mean, it's just a big part of it. So, all right, so I'm going this way. This way is also blocked. There's clearly this brick here that's going to prevent you from moving through. Another big problem with the map's very similar to Metroid in the same way you can see. But this map is very, very tiny. It's like shrunken down to where this whole area is going to be full of shit. Like everything around it is going to be full of stuff. But of course, there's no real detail to show you what's in the way and what wasn't. You just see I wasn't able to go through here, but you can never remember if it's like something you need to push, a block you need to break, maybe a jump that you can't traverse because it's too high, like we saw before. Like, there's no indication of what's blocking it. So this is why I would a lot of times would take screenshots of the thing. That way I can look at it later and be like, in this part of the map, this thing was blocking my way. So I don't fucking have to backtrack back to this fucking place and get stuck in the same spot. Like, what if I have something to break a brick, but I can't move this? You know what I mean? Like, you just wasted your whole fucking time going back to this area. So you got these things, block, shooting fire. I love that, like, whoa! Like, he does, like, the karate shit, like, the karate thing. Yeah. Poison worms. These poison worms are annoying as fuck, too. It's like, the funny thing is with these poisons, you got the fucking bomb dude coming in your way. You got these poison worms that are too small for you to hit even if you're crouching, so you have to do this thing to kill them. And meanwhile, the thing is just still spawning them. And if they hit you, you're poisoned. Like, they throw a poison at you right away. Like, this is one of the first enemies you fight in the fucking game. And it's something you can barely hit, and you have to, like, finagle that. And you definitely need to learn to start using that the swippy thing to your advantage. So when I started this game, for whatever the fuck reason, I cannot explain to you. I did it twice in a row. When I played it, the first time I ever played it as a kid, and then more recently when I picked it up again, like about a year or so ago, I, for whatever reason, totally skipped this part over here. This part was a fucking save state that I had no idea about. This is a basic ass save state. This is not one of the prettier ones for sure. Pretty basic shit, like nothing special. Like, you've seen the save state, you've seen them all. Like, it's not super anything dynamic. Like, the best one is Harmony of Dissonance. It has the best looking save state. The thing is, like, just a badass, like, it looks like a fucking 6-sided dice running across the room. But the point is, I never saw that thing, so I kept going this way, and for whatever the fuck reason, I made a decision to just walk in this direction. I don't know why. I don't know, like, I think it's you get trained in this whole thing of, I'm going to go in this I'm going to just keep going right. Because you naturally do that. In Mario, what do? You go to the right. Mega Man, what do? You go to the right. You know, all of the basic, like, any beat 'em up game you ever played, you go to the right. So I got the Salamander card. This is like, we're pretty much getting close to what I'm going to do, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to skip a tiny bit. I'm going to go back to my other load that it's the same area, but I'm just slightly farther. I just have slightly more shit. And so the whole idea of the cards, and you saw that I just picked up the Salamander. So you have the two cards together. So now I've got an action card, and I've got a fire, and I've got an element card. In this case, fire. And you hit the R button. You kind of do that, like, almost like you went Super Saiyan a little bit there. And boom, you got this. So now you know the Mercury affects what type of whip you have, and then you could just have different elements. I could have a stone whip or a rose whip and shit like that. Another thing to think about is this. You think, oh, this is just instantly means you hit harder, right? Well, no. Actually, it's technically based on the element that it is. So this thing is like an ice thing. I only did 12 damage there. I turned it off, hit it with my normal whip, did 22 damage.
So it isn't actually a full-out buff all the time. So you're constantly actually adapting your weapons based on what it is you're fighting. So you have to, like, if you're fighting something that's some serious shit, you kind of need to figure out like what, like, the answer is not always that easy. Like you need to kind of strategize a little bit and plan what you're fighting and why you're fighting it. Like there has to be some rhyme and reason. The one good thing about this fire whip though is that the range is much bigger. Like the hitbox is bigger, so I can actually kill the worms pretty easily now without a big fucking issue. Like boom. And so also I was farming around for some items, and I got a magic gauntlet and a wristband. So I've got my intelligence is a little bit higher, and so I'm able to get my energy back. I also, you have a default weapon, this is present in almost all the Castlvania games. You see it in that little corner. I got a knife. Like that's the one where if you played me on Smash, you've seen what I can do with the fire on the water, holy water on the ground that makes fire, the throwing axe. You have the throwing cross. One of the weapons you don't see in that game is the knife, and it's the first weapon you get in almost any Castlevania game. You want to know why? Because it fucking sucks. That's why. The knife fucking sucks. It's one of the worst fucking weapons in any game. It's not a real weapon. It's not like a weapon in the sense that it doesn't make you, it's not a buff. It actually, a lot of times with the knife, look at 4 damage, bro. 4 damage, and I can barely hit the fucking thing. Look at that little toothpick just jingling off into the fucking air. Like, insane, ridiculous that this thing. And all the knife was there for in the original Castlevania games was to fuck with the player, because they would have a weapon they actually liked, right? The throwing axe, that axe that goes in an arc that you can hit things up in the air, or the throwing cross that comes back to you, super powerful weapon. And that knife would randomly fall out of a candle or whatever, and you would lose that fucking weapon. You're like, oh, well, too bad. You gotta deal with the stupid ass knife now. Like, it was the worst shit ever. I mean, it is a piece of crap. Look at this thing. I mean, come on, dude. Who gives a fuck? Okay, I can shoot a little bit from farther away. Like, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? Like, it is so terrible, that weapon. There's so many better weapons. Everything is better than that fucking weapon. So, I, for whatever reason, never saw that save state the 2 other times that I played this game. And I went down to this area. Again, little kid. Still figuring this out. These poison things fucked me up pretty good. Those fucking bomber skeletons. I may have died in this section a couple of times as a kid because I was just playing like shit and didn't know what to do and didn't know how to play these games. Walk into this room, big ass fucking room. Holy shit, it's fucking Hellboy, dude. Look at that fucking dude. God damn. And so you start fighting him, you're throwing it down, and he's got like this move where he does this wave, and you're fucking thick, chunky, heavy ass anvil motherfucker like can barely traverse over those fucking rocks. Like, oof. Like, you're barely getting air on that. And then he also hits you, too, of course. And he does, like, a little swiping motion, too. Like, yeah, he comes for your ass a little bit. I'm doing all right now because I've kind of already done it a few times, so I've kind of already got the... But, like, dude, this thing was fucking me up. I think I may have died a few times on this stupid-ass thing. Again, no save state, so I had to start from the beginning all over again. I'm getting hit, like, pretty good right now. I'm going to put on Super Saiyan and fucking try to end this shit. I love that fucking 80s music. Look at that. And it's dead. I'm like, holy shit, dude. God damn. I thought that was a boss. You know what I mean? Like, that felt like a boss battle right there. And then you come to realize, no, it's not a boss. It's a normal enemy that just respawns like everything else. It's like a fucking bat. Like, there it is. Hey, how you doing, bitch? What's going on? Like, you could, the beauty of it, though, is, and it's funny because as a kid I didn't realize it, you can kind of just walk to the other side of the room, I think. And it's like, alright, peace, bitch. See you later. Dash boots. So if it tap forward. Okay, so yeah, you have a run. You gotta like tap forward to do it, and you need to get like a running start for these jumps, I think. Ooh. Yeah, not great. This fucking thing. You do have a slide, which is badass. And by the way, the game does not do a great job of letting you know that you have that slide. You can't really do it on pillars too much, though, because You just go right through it. It just assumes you're trying to drop down. Dude, I feel so heavy. Ugh. Anyway, dude. So like you still don't find a save area for a while too, by the way. Like it feels like a long ass time. And then meanwhile you're just getting berated with these bats that keep respawning too. So at this point I'm still a kid. I'm still trying to find a save state. Fell all the way down. Ah. Those fucking bats resurrect again. So you just gotta like go. Oh fuck. Fuck you. Fuck out of here. Jesus Christ, dude. What an endeavor. Alright, so you run through. Fucking brick. Another fucking area. Like, and again, totally different than the other one. The one we saw before, completely different. Same shitty ass room design. I don't even know what's going on over there. Is that gold in the background? What the fuck is happening over there? It looks like some shitty ass, like, Ukrainian plumbing. Like, what the fuck is going on over there? So you walked all the way over there for no fucking reason. It still got me right in the face. Thanks for just dropping that. Oh my god, that fucking bone flies across the screen hard. Alright, it's time to get crazy here. So stop fucking around. But yeah, this game is not easy. Like, it has some old school challenge to it, dude. Off the bat, like, it doesn't hold your hand that much. I mean, look at this shit. I got respawning enemies. I got fucking ranged attacks from a high ground distance. Like, there's a lot going on in this fucking picture, dude. Yeah, and then I got poison worms. This is the first fucking, like, area of the fucking game. This game is not fuck around. The first boss is kind of lame. It's like a giant wolf. Ranged enemies. Respawning enemies on both sides. Fuck your mother. And sometimes you want to hit these lanterns too, which is fucking hard to do. Oh my god, dude. I'm trying to break this fucking lantern, but every time I have a chance to do it, one of these zombies comes up. Oh my god, it's so stiff. Alright. I find sometimes it's just better in the long run to slide because it's a little bit faster. It's like dashing, but you don't have to like commit to hitting forward twice. And of course, hitting forward twice is not as easy as you think it is. Like doing that run is by no means like you're not playing like Street Fighter 3 running. You know what I mean? Or like doing a dash. Like it doesn't feel that smooth. So again, still haven't found a fucking save state. As a kid, like I've got like a quarter life and I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? There's just hell on toast every fucking where you're going. And of course I'm too fucking fat to jump this fucking height. Eventually you get a double jump and it makes life slightly more bearable. Not that much bearable, but a little bit more bearable. Ah, fuck you, dude. Oh my god, where's the save room? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it may be one underneath there. You just want, like, find a place to sit, because the save point heals you, too, thank god. This game would be unplayable if there wasn't a save. No, there's a whole other room with another fucking Earth Demon. Jesus Christ. Like, as a kid, like, I'm just like, where the fuck? Like, I still, like, as a kid, still do not have a save state. Totally missed the one that I had, that you saw before. I'm just like, where the fuck? What a fucking introduction to the Game Boy Advance, dude. I'm telling you. I'm just gonna stop the video once we have a save state. Oh my god. He's at a really fucked up angle that I can't hit. Oh god. Jesus. What an asshole. It's funny how strong you get where you just start busting through this place like fucking nothing. You're not even like paying attention anymore. You're just running through them like flies. I love that. I love that wonderful like flame thing that just, there it is. Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck me. Alright. That's fucking Castlvania Circle of the Moon. That's just like the intro fucking taste of that shit. Holy crap. Maybe one day I'll do like a full playthrough of it, maybe in a year or so. and you know, we'll kind of retaste what it's like to get back as a Castlevania. But for now, I think I'm gonna do some fighting game videos and maybe play with some people. And I don't know. We'll see where we go from there. Maybe Metroid Dread after that in the future. All right. See you later. Love you.